All the gossip that is fit to print. That's what you get when you watch my channel. The big story in celebrity gossip is Katy Perry is being accused of sexual misconduct again. And this is like the third time, I think. So I'm kind of being silly. I mean, I know it is celebrity gossip, but I do think this is extremely relevant to the conversation around MeToo and the culture war. Katy Perry did a music video with this guy, a male model, who was just paid a couple $100. I think he got paid like $650. And then he accuses her of, when he went to some event, she pulls his pants down to show his junk to all of her friends, which is sexual assault. And they say misconduct here in the article because, you know, they love to downplay it. But imagine if it was like Harvey Weinstein who did this, and a woman said that he ripped her, you know, shirt off or something to show her boobs, or like pulled her skirt off. Yeah, that would be assault, not misconduct. But let's read the story, and I actually want to make a point about, you know, people like Katy Perry. We just saw Sarah Silverman's story right there. Sarah Silverman was recently fired because of a joke she made. Katy Perry has done things like this repeatedly, and no one seems to care. It's because there's a real double standard when it comes to any of this stuff. I think when it comes to sexual assault, Katy Perry being a woman, people are going to be like, well, because that's typically what you see. You know, South Park did an episode where the joke was, whenever they talked about the female teacher abusing the young boy, the cops would go, nice, like, you know, because there clearly is a double standard. So let's read this, and then I'll go over the other accusations, which it's kind of funny that she's got 3, maybe even 4. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate if you would like to support my work. There's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. The best thing you can do, just share this video. YouTube deranks independent political commentary, and the content I produce is quite heterodox, going against the establishment. So, well, there you go. They're not going to like it when I push back on this stuff. So share it if you must, but let's or if you'd like to, let's read the news. They say, as reported by Consequence of Sound model Josh Kloss, has accused Katy Perry of pulling down his pants at a party and exposing him in front of her friends. Kloss co-starred with Perry in the video of her 2010 hit, Teenage Dream, and he posted the accusation on Instagram as a response to the song celebrating its 9th anniversary this month. Apparently, he was planning on doing a video, they say, where he was going to play the song on ukulele, but then decided against it, saying, "Our culture is set on proving men of power are perverse, but females with power are just as disgusting," and referring to the shoot as one of the most confusing, assaulting, and belittling jobs he's ever had. He also claimed that Perry's representatives had barred him from discussing a single thing about anything regarding Katy publicly, but added, "F this, I'm not helping her BS image another second." In his series of posts, Kloss talks about how he was told to minimize himself and stay PC to protect Perry's image. But he got tired of having to censor himself to protect her after getting treated like a prostitute and exposed in front of a group of her friends and other random people. And so perhaps there can be a little bit of empathy to go around. Why don't people speak up and speak out against abusers, people like Katy Perry? Look, I don't know exactly what happened. It's an accusation, innocent until proven guilty. I'm not saying destroy Katy's career over this, but this is, I think, like the 3rd time she's done something. We have this other story this is from news.com.au. Let me zoom in a little bit. But everybody knows this story because this happened on American Idol, and they actually sat on the footage and then published it. What happened was, this young man who said he's never kissed he said, okay, let me just read it. They say, Glaze admitted he had never kissed a girl. "I have never been in a relationship, and I can't kiss a girl without being in a relationship. This only motivated Perry to try to change that, and she called him over to the judge's table and asked for a kiss on the cheek. That didn't satisfy her, however, and she asked for another one, moving her face toward him and planting a kiss on his lips. He backed up surprised and exclaimed, 'Katy,' as she threw her arms in the air victoriously. Yes, assaulting a young man who expressed his desire to share his first kiss with someone he was in a relationship with, violating that person's consent on television, having it be, I believe it was pre-recorded too. They knew it happened, they put it on TV, and everyone just, oh, it's so silly. And you know, I think after the fact, like, he came out and said it was no big deal. You know what, man? I get it. If he personally, after the fact, said it's fine. I'm sure the idea that Katy had in her head is that she's a celebrity. Of course, every man would love to have their first kiss be celebrity Katy Perry, but that doesn't fly, especially not in the Me Too era. You can't try to take down Aziz Ansari because of a bad date, and then do this, like, and there's more. Look, there's a video where, I don't know, Shawn Mendes is in Brazil, and he's doing an interview, and then someone grabs his butt, and he gets like a jump, and he says, oh, someone grabbed my butt, and then turns around and says it was Katy Perry. So look, when we hear this story, another accusation against Perry of just flaunting her power and not caring about, empathizing with other people, I'm going to believe it. I'm also going to believe the media doesn't care. Look, man, did anything bad happen after she kissed this dude? No, they aired it on TV. It was a joke. It was funny. It was used as shock value. There's absolutely a double standard. Let's read a little bit here. They say, while the kiss may have seemed innocuous then, Glaze's recollection of the event, as told to the New York Times, reveals that he didn't exactly see fireworks. I was a tad bit uncomfortable. I wanted to save it for my first relationship. I wanted it to be special. Would I have done it if she said, would you kiss me? No, I would have said no, he continued. I know a lot of guys would be like, heck yeah, but for me, I was raised in a conservative family and I was uncomfortable immediately. I wanted my first kiss to be special. Despite his initial shock, however, Glaze doesn't harbor any feelings of resentment towards Perry and is actually glad that he is getting attention due to the smooch. I'm glad she did it because it's a great opportunity to get my music out. And there it is. I don't care that you got your music out, buddy. I don't care. What happened to you afterwards doesn't change the fact that Katy Perry crossed the line and got away with it. And so then I have to think back to all of the women who were hooking up with Weinstein and didn't come out. There are a lot of women who fought tooth and nail the whole time and had negative repercussions because of it. Women who spoke up immediately and said, hell no. And there were also a lot of women who did nothing because they benefited from it, just like he's saying right now. Letting abusers get away with bad behavior because they know in the long run, hey man, I got to be on TV and everybody's talking about me, so it's good for me. It's good for you, but it wasn't good for this dude who had his pants pulled down. Okay? There are other people she's probably screwed with that aren't going to say anything. You were on TV. Congratulations. Let me read. As for whether or not the kiss counts, Glaze's friends have reassured him that this was just a trial run. Oh, please. They agreed with me that it didn't really count, he said. It was lip contact versus a romantic situation with someone you care about. That's what a real first kiss is. Sorry, that's not true, okay? Because, like, what? By that logic, literally your first kiss would only ever possibly be with someone you're in a relationship with. Like, that logic makes no sense. It's circular. He's saying, well, the only way it would count is if I was in a relationship. I get it, man. You want to reap the benefits, so you're not going to cause a scene. But I would also stress, how much do you want to believe that this guy is scared that if he comes out against Katy Perry, her fans, of which there are tens of millions, will harass him and ruin his life? Of course. And I'll say this now, I'd be willing to bet this dude who came out and who spoke up about him being forced to stay silent to protect her image, he knew he couldn't say anything, not just because the business side of things, but think about all of the people who like Katy Perry who are insane, who are going to insult, drag, and just berate this guy, threaten him, harass him for coming out and saying it's not cool what she did. So, look, man, I think a lot of people are overly sensitive about a lot of things. I think Katy Perry absolutely should not have pulled this guy's pants down, and good on him for calling her out and just refusing to remain silent. All the women who called out those creepy predators in the industry, good on them as well. This thing here with Shawn Mendes, seems innocent. He was standing there and she came and she grabbed his butt or whatever. Doesn't matter. We can't have a double standard. You can't have these women taking, here's the main point, right? Or here's a point I want to make sure I get to. Aziz Ansari was targeted over doing nothing but having a bad date. And he's come out now and he's talked about it, but they really tried to drag him. And you had the woke brigade on Twitter dragging him across just dragging him across the coals because of a bad date. He should have known better. See, this is proof that men are oblivious. Even though Aziz didn't do something wrong, it proves that men are too aggressive. Oh, please, dude. In the end, no one really cares. They're jumping on a trend to get traction. And now we can see that even though Katy Perry has done things like this before, it doesn't matter. It won't matter. This story won't matter. And I'll say this too, because there are people on the left calling this out, saying predators are predators. And I can respect that. But the bigger problem is media leans left. Or at least, that's what we see. Like a lot of these outlets are leaning left. And so the establishment media, like the Jimmy Kimmel shows, they're gonna make fun of this and think it's funny. And they're gonna laugh and be like, oh, come on, a beautiful woman kissing, yeah, who cares? That's the establishment. They're gonna pretend to be woke when they're not. And so I'll just, I'll end by saying, if we are going to have a standard that you can't do this to people, then we need two things. Katy Perry needs to be held accountable to whatever extent. I'm not saying end her career. I'm saying, hey man, apologize, don't do this again. Something like that. Maybe not even apologize. I don't know. At least some criticism in the press. But we have to not allow people like, look man, no offense to this dude who got kissed, but for him to come out and say it helped out my music career, yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of women who are thinking it's going to help their career when they do something similar. But we can't accept that. At least I can't. If we're going to have a standard and say people like Harvey Weinstein are bad, the casting couch is bad, okay, well then, dude, I'm not going to sit here and accept you saying, well, at least I got free promotion for my music. Where are you now? Nowhere. No, let's just say enough. Anyway, today's a weird news day because apparently all anyone cares about is Fredo, if you get the reference. But stick around. The next segment will be coming up at 4 p.m. youtube.com/Timcast, and I will see you there.